in partnership with All On, and we're here with another guest on the show today. I've been joined by the communications officer of All On as the co-host for this episode, and that's talking about Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo. Hi, Wisdom. How are you?
Hi, Collins. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah.
Collins, I heard Cameroon made it to the finals. A bit to the out of the knockout stage.
You heard?
Yes.
Oh, you just heard?
I heard. I didn't watch, but I heard. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's to all of us. There are 3 West African countries there. It's high time we stop dividing ourselves along the lines by lines created by some. There's one line called the Picot line. Have you heard of that Picot line before?
No.
Okay. Maybe after this we'll talk about it. It's a line. It's one of those lines that just divide nations on the African continent and make you feel like you're all different, but they're all the same thing. So it's our celebration. Congratulations to us.
To us, right?
Yeah, absolutely, to everyone. But I get your point. Absolutely. But hey, we're here again to talk about the topic for today is microgrids for energy access and economic productivity, right?
Correct.
And we do have yet another guest joining us. You want to do the honors to mention the guest?
Of course. Yeah, so our guest today is Emmanuel Terwase. He is the founder of Solconomy Technologies. I hope I did justice to that. So Emmanuel is one of the 7 winners of the Clean Tech Hub and All On Incubation Challenge, our program for last year.
Okay.
Welcome, Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Wisdom. It's a pleasure to be here. Good morning, Collins, and good morning, Nigeria.
Great. So let's start with you giving us a bit of a background and professional journey. Let the people meet you.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Emmanuel Terwase. I am an entrepreneur. I'm a CEO of Solconomy Technologies. So I started out when I was younger. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer precisely. And while I was in primary school, I built a helicopter that won a whole lot of awards for me in primary school.
Wow.
But going on after secondary school, my parents didn't have the resources to send me abroad for an aeronautical engineering degree. So I decided to study computer engineering. And I studied computer engineering. I started at Federal Polytechnic Teke, where I studied computer engineering at the national diploma level.
Okay.
After that, I went ahead to Federal University of Technology, where I studied management. And it was during my stay at Federal University of Technology that I joined a whole lot of professional networks. I volunteered a whole lot, did a whole lot of internships. I joined Enactus Photo, which was very, very pivotal in my journey and career. So today, I run Solconomy.
Nice. Why I like all you have said, Collins, is very young, and all this you have achieved, man, that's a lot. So while I was reading about you, I came to understand that you believe that technology is key to driving socio-economic growth in Africa. That is huge. Tell us a little about that, just in 1 minute.
Okay. Socioeconomic growth is about progress, and from my research, I figured out that a whole lot of advanced countries, the industrial climes like USA and others, they all progress based on new technologies. New technologies were very, very pivotal to their progress. So take, for instance, the United States in the 1800s. They said their progress due to the new innovations like railroads, oil, the discovery of oil, and electricity. So these were very, very pivotal in their transformation. And if you come down to China in the east, what has followed their massive growth over the past 50 years is globalization, which is brought about by the by internet and e-commerce. So this was very key in China's massive growth. So I believe that Africa can leverage on new technologies like clean technologies, the internet, and several new technologies to actually leapfrog progress and scale out progress in the continent.
Interesting. We'll break all of this down as we go on the show, Collins.
I mean, we know that you were the lead organizer of Techstar Startup Weekend and Enactus Photo, where over 100 talented students executed projects on renewable energy. Could you tell us more about this?
Okay, my journey with tech started set of weekends. So I was privileged to partake in a Techstars Weekends events in 2018 in my school, Federal University of Technology. And it's actually helped me a whole lot because in 3 days I was able to see and learn how to build a startup in 3 days, just over a weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that was very, very key. And in 2021 last year, I applied to Techstars to actually organize such a thing because I realized that if I was transformed by just a 3-day event, a whole lot of young people in Owerri will actually benefit from the same program. So I decided to apply and got a license to organize it in 2021. So my Enactus journey, I joined Enactus in 2018 while I was in 300 level. And I started off, I have had a 4-year stint at Enactus.
Okay.
So I started off as a technical director for 2 years and 2 years as a team lead. So my journey at Enactus has been very pivotal, not only executing projects, but learning leadership and how to lead students, over 100 students, to actually execute projects. So that has been very, very key in my journey.
Interested. There was something very special about Futo, Collins, because I've met a lot of young people out of Futo who do this amazing tech stuff. I don't know if you've met a few too, because
I mean, it's a school for technology.
I mean, something is happening in Futo that we really must know about. We have a lot of grantees too who came out of Futo. Amazing work you guys are doing.
Maybe it's the Otam Miri that's around there. Maybe it gives you inspiration, right? You know what I'm talking about.
He knows what I'm talking about. All right.
He knows what I'm talking about.
All this knowledge you got led you to start. How do you pronounce it again? Solconomy Technologies. I mean, the name alone is getting me interested. And since then, you have been working, building microgrids. So tell us, what is the idea behind setting up the company? You've learned a lot about building startups from all this training you attended. So you went out to found this company. And what does Solconomy really means? Can you break that down a little?
Okay, Solconomy was formed from 2 words. First word is solar, and second word is economy. So it means solar economy.
Solar economy.
So we are using, yes.
These guys are getting smart.
We are using solar PVs to actually improve economic growth and productivity in communities around Nigeria. So that was how we named the company. And in short, the inspiration behind it was while we were executing a project at the community while I was team lead of Enactus.
Okay.
So we discovered a serious problem in the market there. We had a whole lot of traders who were using these kerosene lanterns. So they call it Mpanaka in Igbo.
Say that again.
Or air lice. So Mpanaka. It's a kerosene lantern, a very small kerosene lantern with open fires.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know it.
Yeah, that's what they were using to sell at night.
Okay.
And some others in the market actually had generating sets. They had these pass my network generators, and they were spending a whole lot. Some of these guys will spend up to 500 to 1,000 naira a day on fuel to just power their generating sets, and some of them use it just for lighting their shops. So we discovered that was a very big problem. I even happened to meet a woman who sells Friday markets. So she was telling me about the challenges she was having. She was having bad eyesight, and this was affecting her health. So we decided to start our project. We got together, contributed money together, built my community, and electrified their shops, about 35 shops in the market. So it's from the impact of what I saw myself personally. So I saw the transformation. Even this woman, Mama Chineye, like you could see how happy she was. It was very emotional for me, and I think that was actually pivotal. Like seeing something you executed transform someone's life. It was very, very pivotal to my deciding to launch a company to provide access to this to a whole lot of other people out there who are facing similar challenges.
Brilliant. I love that. But now, building microgrids and all of that, what are microgrids so that our listeners will be able to understand?
Okay, to the layman, microgrids may sound like a very big word. So we have a centralized grid in Nigeria, so which we obviously know as NEPA or our different power holding companies. So they work using a centralized grid. Okay. So what microgrids are? Microgrids are small-scale solar-powered utilities that can operate independently. They don't depend on the national grid. They operate independently to supply energy for the limited number of users in either a community, hamlets, or a market cluster. So that's what microgrids are: a small-scale solar-powered grid. So that's what we build.
Okay, so now you were announced as one of the winners of this Clean Tech at All-On Incubation program. Tell us, how did you hear about the program? And I would like to know, what did that program do for you with all these ideas you have? Tell us.
Okay, the Clean Tech Hub program was very, very. I heard about the program on LinkedIn.
On where?
I spent a whole lot of time on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay, LinkedIn.
A professional network.
Okay.
So I follow All-On and I follow some organizations. So I saw the opportunity. But before that, I knew a couple of my colleagues. Okay. Two of them who had already passed through the program in the first cohort in 2020. Oh. So I saw it as a great opportunity that if these people I knew could get into the program, like the project we are working on can also get in. So I applied as well. So the program has been very, very instrumental. So over the course of 6 months, although virtually because of
COVID,
several constraints, COVID and several constraints, it was an awesome program. So almost every week we had sessions, and these were very, very interesting sessions. They brought in high-profile speakers. We had speakers from different walks of life. So we had legal experts, we had entrepreneurs. The CEO of Energy even came on board to teach us about fundraising. So this was a very, very interesting program. So I learned a whole lot. It has helped me structure a company, learn how to communicate with all stakeholders, and I also learned fundraising and several other things that is also helping us move forward in our endeavors.
College, we are becoming popular.
This is that's right. This is Power Solutions, brought to you by Nigeria Info in partnership with All-On, and today we're talking about microgrids for energy access and economic productivity. And we do have Emmanuel. That's Emmanuel Terwase, is also the founder, Solconomy Technologies. Of course, you know where that name is gotten from, solar and economy, which of course explains the meaning of Solconomy. And he just talked about microgrids, because that's our focus. Microgrids for energy access and economic productivity is our focus. So if you caught the earlier parts of the conversation, you would have heard him talk about what microgrids are, and he did a breakdown of that. And also he just talked about some of the things that happened with the Clean Energy Hub and All-On Incubation Program. Now I'm going to ask you about your product. So tell us about your product, that's Solconomy Shop Lighting and Solconomy Charging. What are these products about?
Okay, as I said earlier, we discovered in the community the problems these shop owners were facing. So these problems involved the lighting they were using to actually sell at night. So most of them stayed behind in the evening times around 6-7 p.m. and they were using all these kerosene lanterns and generating sets for lighting. So they needed to sell in the evening. So the Solconomy lighting is we provide a bulb between 10 watts bulb for them in their shops. So this actually gives them power to sell at night. So it lasts for about 4-5 hours so from 6 p.m. to around 11 p.m. So that's the Solconomy lighting product we offer. The Solconomy charging is all about it's a station in the market where they can actually charge their phones and other devices. So these are currently the two products, although we have other products in the pipeline, but these are the two core products we are offering in the market.
So they're all powered by solar, right?
Yes, they're all powered by solar.
Okay, brilliant. We already have an idea what your market is, so I'm not going to ask you that, but I want to know, now you have this $10,000 grant from the incubation program. Can you tell us really what will this money do for Solconomy? Where are you now as a company, and where do you want to go with this money? What's it going to do for you?
Okay, interesting question. $10,000. It was exciting when we announced the top 7 winners of the $10,000 grants. So this has helped us validate the problem that we are trying to solve. So initially we just started this off as a project. So, but it has given us a whole lot of validation that there's a whole lot of problems, similar problems out there, and that we are very, very keen in solving. So this $10,000 will help us expand our microgrids to a very close markets. It's a markets as OBZ that we are applying. So we have already done market assessments, and we're planning to move over to that market and set up a microgrid there. And so they are about up to about 150 traders in that market, and we're planning to light them up with Solconomy lighting and Solconomy charging. So that's what we're planning to do. And we're also planning to implement a technology solution to be able to help us automate and monitor these grids building in several.
Sorry, you say you're going to monitor what? Can you come back again a little?
So we are actually building an energy monitoring system to be able to monitor and get information on the microgrids we're building in different communities. So I think that's key to our scaling.
Okay. All right. I wanted to say earlier that it seems like our program is becoming popular, and for you to hear from your friend to join. I mean, that's what we are trying to achieve, to help young innovators like you move your ideas to market. And
well, it's a Nigeria info. It's got to be popular. That's the number 1 station for Talking Africa. So,
yeah, it's good. It's good.
That's why. So you should be giving the credit to Nigeria info.
Of course, with the help of Nigeria info.
You forgot to add one. Anyways,
but we know we have a lot of ideas. We have a lot of ideas that when they come to life, we see that the power problems we have in Nigeria, can really be solved. But I want to talk a little. Tell us a little about your team that work with you. I know you don't do all this work alone. And how can listeners find you? I know you're speaking to us from Owerri, correct? How can listeners find you? Anyone interested in your product, how can they find you? Social media, website, and tell us about your team that work with you.
So we have an awesome team. Although most of us are not physically present in the world, but we have an awesome team. We have Extra Bamiduro. She handles our marketing operations. She's an awesome lady, very awesome. We have Donaldson Okoye, who handles operations. And then we have Michael. Michael is in charge of our electrical engineering section, and we have Drew Lokeke in charge of our mechanical installations. So most of the frames for the panels and several other mechanical stuff is the one that uses. So this is an awesome team. We also have a whole lot of people on Vice Notes. So we have Mr. Chapp-Jumbo is the CEO of HTS Business School, who gives us advice on several things we are working on. We have Mr. Daniel Kwekmeki, who works with German Embassy, and he also guides us on several things we are executing. So it's an awesome team. We can be found online on social media across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We are across all social media handles. We are at Solconomy, just at Solconomy. So that's what we are on all social media handles.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow, very very interesting to know. And did you tell us the price of some of this your products? How affordable are they? Are they free? You're selling them. You're selling them. What's the cost of each of them?
Exactly. I missed that part.
You want to sell that a bit more so that someone who's listening to you wherever they are, as they follow you on social media, they'll have an idea of what they are coming to. I mean, you've talked about the efficiency of the product, the idea behind this, bringing that solution, that solar solution, if you like, to your community, starting from women using that local lantern to you creating this product. So an interesting story, but what's the cost like?
Okay, for the markets which we have set up these microgrids already, so it's very, very affordable. So we charge for the Solconomy lighting, we charge 100 naira per day.
Okay,
100 naira
per day to charge,
yes,
right?
So, yeah, for the lighting.
For the lighting, okay.
For per device. So that's our business model. That's what we charge.
Wow.
So for those interested in, for the people interested in bringing this community, they can easily reach out to us, and then we can discuss partnership and several other things for us to implement such a similar solution in their community as well.
All right. You say on social media you are at
Solconomy.
Solconomy, just spelled as pronounced. All right. Okay. Beautiful, man. It was a delight listening to you talk. I mean, your story is quite inspiring. You started pretty young, and from that time on, you have been pushing. Today, you can win a $10,000 dollar grant, and I can see that there's a lot more you hope to do. But with this your initiative and this your company, we wish you the very best. But in the next, say 2, 3, let's say 5 years, where do you see your business, your space? What do you hope to have accomplished within that time frame?
Okay, we are building a whole lot of solutions. So at Solconomy, we are building. I'm a tech guy, so we build, and our team is mostly tech inclined. So we are building a whole lot of tech solutions to help scale these microgrids across the country. So we are building slowly. So in the past 2 years, we are just at Easy, but we are expanding to. We are building several business models to scale across Nigeria. So there are a whole lot of people with this issue. So 90 million Nigerians without electricity access. And that's a huge problem. And 1, 2, 3, 4 companies cannot solve that. So it requires a joint effort for everybody to solve it. So we are building solutions to be able to enable people to be able to solve these problems in partnership with us in different communities across Nigeria.
All right, thank you very
much.
So
I hope in 5 years' time, hopefully we'll be at maybe 1,000 microgrids in Nigeria.
All right.
Well, that's bold. That's bold.
Would hold you to that, and good luck to you and your entire amazing team. Thank you, Emmanuel, for speaking with us today.
Thank you, Collins. Thank you, and thank you, Nigeria.
All right, Emmanuel Terwase is the founder of Solconomy Technologies, and we've talked about mini-grids for energy access and economic productivity today. Power Solutions makes a return next week. Don't forget that it's sponsored in partnership, specifically in partnership with Allon, of which, of course, I had represented here the the communications officer of Allon, Wisdom Chapp-Jumbo, as a co-host for this episode. Hi, Wisdom. It was great doing this with you.
Thanks a lot. And just before we go, I want to say rush to our social media platforms and our websites. The incubation program in partnership with the NCIC has just opened. Okay. And we're looking for. All right, we're looking to also find new ideas to move to market. So rush to our website, www-all-on.com.
That's
www.all-on.com. Sorry.
Before I do, I got it tough for you now.
And follow us on LinkedIn. You can see all the information. They're all on LinkedIn. Go, let's move your ideas to market.
That's it. My name is Collins. Teke, God bless you indeed. Stay tuned for more programming on this station.
When we ask our government, when them go give us light, them say na 2010, we don't know where